Keeping in view this background, let's talk about the moon sighting, whether or not it is obligatory or whether or not the month of Ramadan can be started without sighting the moon. Number one, we should not forget that the goal of the month of Ramadan is not the moon sighting. The goal of the month of Ramadan is fasting for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyam kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. That when the sacred month of Ramadan comes, then you start the fasting. So fasting is the objective of the month of Ramadan, and the determination of that ibadah is done bihulul shahr Ramadan, when the month of Ramadan is ascertained to be there. Now there is a method to determine the month of Ramadan, and eye sighting is one of the methods of the month of Ramadan. So therefore we should not confuse the method or the wasila with the ghaya or with the goal of the month of Ramadan. We should focus more upon the fasting, upon the sacred timings, and we should not fight about the moon sighting and about all of these issues which are nowadays taking most of our time, rather than spiritual preparation or focusing upon the lesson of the month of Ramadan or the lessons of fasting. But I would like to explain over here that the sighting of the moon somehow is connected only with the 29th day of Shaban, and it is not connected with the 30th day of Shaban. Let me explain what I'm trying to say. If we look at the hadith, sumu li ru'yati wa aftiru li ru'yati, start the fasting by sighting it and stop the fasting by sighting it. This part of the hadith can be applied only on the 29th day of Shaban or the 29th day of Ramadanul Mubarak. Because if we go out and we are unable to sight the moon on 29th day of Shaban, we know tomorrow is the 30th day of Shaban, and the month cannot go beyond 30 days. And if it is not seen tonight, tomorrow the moon must be in the horizon. That's where the religious authorities or ulama or the governments, they make the announcement on the 29th day of Shaban that the moon was not sighted tonight. Therefore, tomorrow is not the month of Ramadan, but the day after tomorrow will be the month of Ramadan. No scholar, no authorities have ever required any Muslim to go out on the 30th day of Shaban and look at the moon and sight the moon and then start the month of Ramadan, because they know that if the moon was not seen on 29th, there is no way the moon will not be in the horizon on the 30th day. It is definitely certain that tomorrow the moon will be in the horizon, could be seen and could not be seen. Whether it is seen or not seen, that's not an issue, because it is the certainty that the new moon is in the horizon which will make the person start the month of Ramadan. So therefore, they make the announcement on 29th of Shaban that Ramadan will not be tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow will be Ramadan. Likewise, on the 29th day of Ramadanul Mubarak, the announcement is made that tonight the moon was not seen, so Eid is not tomorrow, but the Eid will be the day after tomorrow. Because tonight we have attained certainty that tomorrow the new moon definitely will be in the horizon. So therefore, if the certainty takes place that the new moon is there, is no need for anybody to go and sight it. Announcement can be made based upon certainty. Yes, it still will be sunnah that you go out on the 30th day and look at the moon, but it will not be a requirement, it will not be a prerequisite to make the announcement of Ramadan al-Mubarak or Eid al-Fitr. That tells us that sighting in itself is not required. What is required by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to connect the acts of ibadah with sacred time, and to use our whatever method is available to us, which will make us certain that the new moon is in the horizon or the new moon is in sighting position. That is the certainty which the Prophet ﷺ requires us. حَتَّى يَدْخُلَ فِي الْعِبَادَةِ بِالْيَقِينِ وَيَخْرُجَ مِنْهَا بِيَقِينِ. As some of the scholars, Abu Bakr al-Jassas has said it, that the intention of sighting is so that we can certainly determine that this is the time for ibadah, and we can certainly determine that this is the time getting out of ibadah. So the certainty is the goal and not the sighting itself. Now some of the scholars, they say that if sighting is not done on 29th day of Shaban, then the other part of the hadith in which Rasulullah ﷺ said that complete 30 days will come into effect. So therefore we are following the two methods established by Rasulullah ﷺ in the hadith, that either sighting or completion. But I will argue that look into all of those ahadith. There is a condition. The Prophet ﷺ said, sight it and start. Sight it and stop the month of fasting. But if it is cloudy, فَإِنْ غُمَّ عَلَيْكُمْ, if it is cloudy, then count 30 days. So this condition, because the shart and mashrut, they are always together. But suppose if on 29th day of Shaban or 29th day of Ramadan al-Mubarak, the sky was clear, there was no cloudy weather, there were no obscurities, and Muslims could not see it on the evening of 29th Shaban or 29th Ramadan, then wouldn't the hadith require them to see it even on the 30 days? Because now the condition of in Ghumma is not complete. There is no cloudy weather, there are no obscurities, the weather is clear, the sky is clear, but it has not been seen on 29th. So then wouldn't the hadith require sumu li ru'yati wa aftiru li ru'yati? Start fasting even on 30th and stop fasting even on 30th by sighting it, because it is not cloudy. Because fa'in ghumma comes only into place when it is cloudy. And also those scholars who require that the statement of the Prophet ﷺ, La tasumu hatta taraw al-hilal, that do not start the month until you see the moon. Wala tuftiru hatta taraw, and do not stop the month until you see. So now this portion or this clause of the hadith will apply on 29th as well as on 30th of the month. The exception will be only if it is cloudy on 29th and it has not been seen because of the cloudy weather. Because فَإِنْ غُمَّ عَلَيْكُمْ فَقْدُرُوا or فَإِنْ غُمَّ عَلَيْكُمْ فَعُدُّوا, condition will come only if it is cloudy. But my brothers and sisters, look into the reality. On 29th, we try to see it. If it is not seen, whether cloudy or not, the announcement is made that tomorrow will not be Eid or tomorrow will not be Ramadan, but the day after tomorrow will be Ramadan.